All right, Coach, you have the ITA Regionals coming up this weekend. Just talk about what you've seen from your team through the first month or so of practice.
Yep, so really excited about ITA Regionals coming up this weekend. It's been hosted by UT Tyler, so it's going to be good test for us early in the fall. ITA Regionals is always a long event if you're doing well. I mean, the first day is probably 6 to 7 hours on court, if you're winning, and it's going to be tough out there in the Tyler humidity. So, that's one thing we got to make sure that, we're ready after these. We just got one day of practice here tomorrow, and then we'll head up there and practice. So, it's going to be interesting. We've got like a very young group. We've got 5 true freshmen, 3 returning sophomores, 2 of who were just started in January of last year. So definitely one of the youngest teams in the country. But we have some really good, returning players. Obviously, Margot Renee, who was LSC Freshman of the Year last year, was ranked as high as top 25 in the country as a true freshman. Had some really big wins for us all throughout the season, really. I mean, she beat the top 10 player in the country like in her second match of her career, and then had big wins down the stretch as well for us. So then she played doubles at line 2 with Benedetta Raggiati, who played anywhere between 4, 5, and 6 for us last year. And then Mary June Quinn is our last returning sophomore, who she's worked very hard over the summer. I mean, she's almost a brand new player. She got to get in some matches at the end of last year, and you can tell that she worked really, really hard on everything over the summer because she's ready to go now. And then we got five new players. We got some young ones. We got one that just turned 17, one that just turned 18. So definitely a young group, but they're really high energy group. I think as I always talk about, the vibe within the team is extremely important to me as a coach, and this team has picked up, and obviously the new girls have been really receptive to everything they've been working on, and the returning girls have done a good job of kind of modeling for them what we're looking for out of an ASU tennis program. So we had an exhibition 2 weekends ago against Abilene Christian out at Bentwood, and saw some really good things there. We had a handful of good wins. We had a handful of really, really close losses, to a team that was I believe they were second in their conference last year. I think we won a majority of the doubles matches against them, so that was pretty refreshing, to see players who are, a lot of these kids, when they come out of, especially international kids come out of juniors, they have almost no doubles experience, and for them to really just jump in and have some good results there was really, impressive for me and Emma, our new GA, to see. So yeah, we're really excited to get out there this weekend and hopefully get some good results.
That's a good segue into my question. I mean, you pretty much touched on it, but what's stood out to you most about your off-season acquisitions, your 5 new players?
Yeah, I mean, very talented. I mean, young, but very talented. We've been practicing for only about 3 weeks now, but they're, for the most part, got their feet under them, adjusting to the schedule, adjusting to strength and conditioning workouts. We have ramped up the strength and conditioning, especially the running and the off-court workouts. I think this team is ready for it. I think this team's prepared for it. So we've been ramping that up, and they've been really impressing me with their hard work on and off the court. But yeah, just some real talent. And so what they lack in age and experience, they're definitely bringing good energy. Practices have been good. It's been hot. It's been pretty brutal out there, but they've been handling that really well, and you can tell that they have a good time. They've been at every football game, the home volleyball games, soccer games. I mean, they're really immersing themselves in the culture, especially being an ASU athlete. So really excited about that, and saw some really good things in our matches against Abilene Christian at the exhibition. So I mean, regionals is tough, especially if it's your first big college event. But I think we got a chance to see some really good things.
Coach, how difficult is it for you, and I guess this is more for you and the staff, to get, when you have a young class like this, to get them up to speed, and how important is it for those senior leaders to actually say, hey, come on, this is how you do it?
Yeah, I wish I had senior leaders. I've got sophomore leaders right now, but they are doing a good job because they had some good. We lost 3 seniors to graduation last year, and those were girls that gave a lot to Angelo State over the years. Eva Schwartz, Mika Vandeventer, and Avery Durham. And so yeah. I mean, we're really fortunate to have. The 3 sophomores who really care a lot about this team and this program, and so they're doing a really good job. And then the new girls who came in, they're very hungry. I mean, they're ambitious. They they kind of heard a little bit about how last year our kind of result at the end of the season kind of fell short of what our expectations are and what the standard has been. So I think they're really excited to make their mark individually and as a team. So we got the tournament this weekend where I think they're going to be able to show a lot, and they're going to show a lot to me with how they kind of handle the situation, because the Lone Star Conference is very good. Our region is basically the Lone Star Conference, and so last year at any given time, I think 6 of the Lone Star Conference teams were top 15 at one point, including us. And with a lot of turnover in the conference this league, so there are a lot of turnover in the league this year. MSU lost a bunch of players. St. Mary's lost some players. DBU is no longer with us as a tennis program. So there's going to be a lot of new faces for sure. So I think this is an opportunity for us to just to go out there and play hard, work hard, and hopefully get some good results. And I think the biggest thing for the freshmen is just going to be handling their first real college event, and the conditions are going to be tough. So if they can make it through an event like this, they can make it through anything really. So.
And obviously there's going to be some growing pains, but what specifically, besides wins, because you want to see wins, what specifically do you want to see out of some of these younger girls?
So we got new doubles teams. We're going to have 4 new doubles teams at this event. So doubles has always been a really, really big deal for us, where we've had a lot of success in doubles, and so I knew we were going to have at least 3 new doubles teams, and with maybe the possibility of keeping Benny and Margot together for this event. I've decided to split them up and give them each a different partner. So we'll kind of see how that goes. So definitely going to have 4 new doubles teams, and there's some good players out there for us to see. So obviously we want to have the best results we can possibly have, for sure. I want to see them fight. I want to see them play with good energy and enthusiasm. I would love for everyone to be able to play out the full tournament. Just like looking at the results of other teams that have been playing their fall tournament so far. A lot of events where players are only making it through the first day of the tournament or a day and a half of the tournament before they're having to pull out with an injury or struggling with the conditions or whatever. So I would love for everyone to make it through this tournament, get some good reps in, and stay as healthy as possible. We got a long way to go before we start playing our first dual matches, at the end of January. But I think this weekend is a good opportunity for them to show us as a coaching staff, and to show their teammates and themselves, what they've got, to work with, and so hopefully it's a good event for us.
It's funny you mentioned all the doubles teams. That's my question. Is that during your time here at ASU, you've always been critical about the doubles point with every match that they opt to compete in. Just talk about those pairings as a whole. Is there any of them that really they're excited to see getting some real competition this weekend? Yeah,
so we tried a few different things. We had the opportunity, being the exhibition scrimmage against ACU 2 weekends ago. There's no rules. You can kind of mix up your doubles teams however you want, even like from round to round. So I got to see some things. We've been working on it a lot in practice. We probably work on doubles in practice more than any team in the country. It's an everyday thing for us. And so I really believe that the doubles is huge, not only to win the doubles point and start off 1-0, which we've done probably at a 75 to 80% clip, since I've been here. But then also the things that make you a good doubles player, especially serve, return, finishing at the net, like those things all help you in singles as well. So if we're good at doubles, it's not by accident. I mean, we work on it a ton, and we put a lot of thought into it. Myself and Emma, our new assistant, we've spent at least an hour of every day in the office, just kind of like thinking about who would work with who, and what we're seeing in practice, what we like, what we don't like. So we're gonna run out Anastasia Melnikova, we call her Nastia. We're gonna roll out Nastia and Benny together in doubles, and they had a really good match against ACU, probably ACU's top team, and so I'm excited to see them play. We got a few different doubles pairings where you've got one player that definitely plays a certain way and has a certain personality, and then their partner kind of is a complement to them, where it's like one player that maybe plays really big off the serve and from the baseline, paired with a partner who moves a lot at the net and can finish and can track down a lot of balls. So I'm really excited to see them play, and we got Margot is going to play with Sasha, one of our freshmen. That's going to be a kind of a very mature team, a team that should be able to dominate pretty well from the baseline. So interested in seeing them together. We're going to have MJ play with Denaya. Denaya's our little young one that just turned 17 this summer, and she plays kind of like a little bit unorthodox style from the baseline. She hits the ball so hard and flat from the baseline, and I think she's going to cause some real problems, for the girls at the net, because she can attack you from anywhere at the baseline. And MJ is her partner. MJ is just very mature. Her court positioning is amazing. Her discipline with her court positioning is amazing. So really excited to see how they work together. And then we're gonna have two of our new French girls together, Jade and Anna. Gonna see probably a decent amount of serve and volleying from both of them. They both have the ability to do that. They're both very good athletes, very fit, very quick. So I'm really excited to see what they can do, kind of giving teams hopefully a different look that they don't see very often. So I'm really excited about all four of those teams. Now, those teams may not play any more together past this weekend. Like I don't know, but I'm willing to throw some things out there and see how they work. Sometimes you put a pairing together and you're like, definitely this team should work, and then it ends up not working for whatever reason. So maybe we'll see some of that this weekend, see if these teams click or not, and then we'll just kind of go from there. We got a month until our final fall tournament up at New Mexico State after that. So hoping some of these teams pop and they work really good, and then we'll just go from there.
And then my final question, like, I look at your roster: France, Italy, Australia, Russia, Slovakia, France, Kazakhstan. Like, how in the world do you get these girls and have them acclimate to the conditions here in San Angelo, or even just in the All-Star Conference as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, college tennis is very highly international. It's by far the most international sport out of all the NCAA sports. At any given time, college tennis is between 50 to 55% international. And it's been like that for quite a while. I recruit Americans hard. I recruit Texans hard. I mean, we've had a few Texans and Americans on the team, and I'm still looking for them. I'm still talking to them. I'm still trying to get them any way that I can. But the international tennis is just such a big force. I mean, tennis is probably the most popular sport for young women in most countries, and so not all, but most countries, tennis is very common and popular. So there's just a huge population to draw from, to get these kids. And so yeah, I mean, they work really hard. They're very good students. They're very they're very proactive in the recruiting process. It's like you get an email from a kid, from a city in a country you've never heard of or been to or whatever, but they immediately work really hard to show you why they want to come to ASU and why they want to represent our team. And obviously the acclimation for them is a lot of just the different cultures, the different routines. They probably are used to practicing in a different way at home than they do when they get here. So that's a big part of it. Obviously some of them aren't used to the heat and the conditions for sure, so that's a big adjustment that they go through in the first 6 weeks or so. But yeah, I mean, they're great girls. They're good teammates. They're good students. They work hard. They have a lot of fun. They really embrace this opportunity to come here and be a student and be an athlete at the same time and immerse themselves in a new culture. So they bring a lot to the school, to the department, to the team, obviously. So yeah, they're great girls, and I'm excited to get to go watch them compete this weekend.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.